Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Empowerment Zone podcast. I'm your host, Tatiana Gutsu, and today I'm honored to welcome a very special guest of mine, Shari Turnbull. Shari holds a master's degree in social work and has extensive experience in healthcare, including organ transplant, oncology, hospice, and home care. She is also a professional model and actress, and most importantly, a devoted wife and a mother of four. Her eldest daughter, Sienna, trained with me and competed in AAU National Gymnastics Championship in 2023, making this conversation especially meaningful for us both. Shari will also take in the part in the Empowerment Zone Rag Gala 2026, an event dedicated to empowerment, unity, and inspiring families and young athletes. Today, we will talk about resilience, motherhood, and how to empower the next generation. Shari, thank you so much for being with us today. Let me enter you in and we have the beautiful conversation. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Shari. Thank you so much for accepting to be on the Empowerment Zone podcast. It's an honor to have you here, and I am ecstatic to open the doors of the motherhood, and maybe we can share some insights, to help our audience out there to see, what kind of tools we can use to inspire our youth, our teenagers, and in general women, and have that nice incredible balance that you have in your family.
Yeah,
Can you
definitely.
can you please introduce yourself to our audience? If I miss anything, I want them to understand who you are and when you coming, where you're coming from, and the part that you're gonna have as a special guest with your daughters at the Empowerment Zone.
Okay. I think you did a pretty good introduction, but I am Shari Turnbull. I am a mother of four and a former social worker, and currently I do a lot of acting in commercials. So that's pretty much how I spend my days.
This is pretty incredible. How do you find time for everything and to balance everything?
It's funny you say that, but sometimes I wonder how I do it myself, and I truly question if I am balancing it right. Um, what I find that's most helpful for me is having some help in the house, to manage my four homeschooled kids plus our two dogs and now a cat. There's a lot to do each day. There's tons of laundry. There's, questions every 5 minutes, someone wanting help with homework or a different meal. And so for me, the balance is finding time for me in the craziness of the day. And if that means like going to the gym for an hour or scrolling on Instagram, just looking up what else is going on in the world so I can kind of check out for a little bit. That kind of helps a lot.
Yes. So it seems like you have everything under the balance that you created, and you have a great team to actually follow that. So you can have your own personal time as well. And as us mothers, we must have that. Our
Oh,
personal
100%.
time, a minute, a five, or if needs to be an hour, then it needs to be an hour.
Right. And I mean, it's sometimes like, it's funny, but I spend a lot of time just sitting in the driveway in my car. And my kids will call me and be like, Mom, where are you? Well, I'm in the driveway. I need like 5 more minutes and then I'm going to come in the house and I'll be fine.
And
So
it's totally okay because I do that too. And I'm pretty sure that other mothers, young mothers, or with with teenagers, they can relate to to us with that
yeah, our
with
car
that
therapy.
with that particular detail.
Mhm.
I wanted to shout out to our supporter this year. It's Tappers Jewelry. They're supporting Empowerment Zone Red Annual Gala 2026. So a huge shout
That's
out. Thank
amazing.
you so much
Dapper.
for thank you so much for being a huge supporter of the Empowerment Zone movement, and we're ecstatic to have you on the team. Sherry, couple of questions. Can you please share us about your journey into social work and healthcare, and what inspired you to choose this path?
It definitely stemmed from both of my parents. My mother was a school teacher and my father was a firefighter. So they both devoted their lives to helping people. I got to witness that firsthand in my mom's classrooms, how she interacted with her students. And then, as far as my dad, I got to see him come home after 24 hours of shifts in Detroit fires and being burned on his face and his neck. And he never complained. He just would nurse the burns and say, this is part of the job. And I chose to help people. And it completely inspired me. Um, in high
The
school,
strength and courage that he had,
for
never
sure.
complaining about once, but yet at the same time, he put himself onto a front line to support and help others. That's incredible. What a
Right. It was
strength.
completely selfless in that. And then in high school, I started volunteering and I would go to senior citizen homes with my dog and talk to people and connect to people. And in graduate school, I bonded with one of my professors who was in the healthcare field, which was a wonderful thing to have, and she connected me to a internship at Henry Ford Hospital in the emergency room. And when I was there, it was like incredible to me. It just fired my soul. And so I pursued social work in the medical field after that experience and went on to do, like you said, solid organ transplant, and then eventually found my true calling in hospice social work at people's end of their life.
Yes, yes, I have experienced that twice in my life, and both of my parents actually asked me to be with me. So as they were feeling that they were departing and they needed that nourishment and kindness and just companionship, to express love and tears. And last year in October, we not well in October my mom passed away, but the 3 months that she was with us in our care and our house, we provided everything that we could. We cried together, we hold hands together, we smiled together, we watched the show together. So I do understand what you're talking about, because you have to have a pure heart to actually be there for somebody at the last time, because they already know, and we're just there to guide them, to love them, and to support them, and to make sure that they have very nice and warm surroundings, especially love is everything, so I understand.
Yeah, and what's like to me, what was most impactful for me is that there were so many people that actually died alone. And sometimes I was the only person alongside a nurse and the caregivers at the facility that were actually there with the person dying. So I was that last person holding their hand, and to me, it felt like I was doing God's work.
Because you're present there, and because you're helping them to departure into the next step. That's
Yep.
that's it's wonderful. It's
Yep.
wonderful. You have a beautiful warm heart.
Thank you.
um
As a wife and a mother of four, how do you balance family life with your professional and personal goals?
So, luckily, I have the lifestyle where I get to raise my children at home, but also take on acting jobs when I want. And I balance it by seeing how I'm doing mentally. Do I need a break from the kids? Do I need to go work in acting? Do I need to find an acting job to kind of sustain me and keep me afloat? And so I will go there and I will submit myself for different acting jobs. And that to me recharges my mental battery. And being back with creative people helps me feel like I can be sane with my family. So it's a good balance. You know, I get to be home with the kids, help raise them, help educate them, but also pursue my own interests. So to be honest with you, it really does help me thrive in all the chaos.
That's fantastic. That's a great answer. I absolutely love it. And of course, everything goes back to that it's not selfish to take time for yourself.
Oh,
It's a must.
it's
It's
a
a
must.
must tool. It's a must puzzle that you have to, or any women need to implement that into their lives, because home is home, family is family, and everything is wonderful. But in order for you to serve your family, you have to have your own balance. I believe that.
Yes.
Next question. Your daughter Sienna trained with me and competed in the AAU National Gymnastics Championship in 2023. What was the what was that experience like for you as a parent?
Okay, you're going to make me cry for this one, but it honestly was and forever will be like a pinnacle moment of parenthood for me. I was a high school gymnast myself, never even close to the talent that you or Sienna possessed. But when I found out I was having a girl, I secretly didn't tell anyone, but I'm like, I want her to be a gymnast. And I want her to be a way better gymnast than I ever was. And when she was younger and started demonstrating all these signs of a good gymnast, I was like, oh my God, this might happen. So I was determined to find an amazing coach. And of course, I came across you, and the rest is history. And honest to God,
Beautiful
like I
history.
replay that memory over and over in my head that she would have never, ever achieved this had it not been for you.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to hear these words, and it was a great pleasure working with Sienna and see how she's evolving from youth to the teenager. And
Mhm.
as us parents understand that in teenage years, we need to be more flexible and more understanding and compassionate, and at the same time we need to encourage them and love them. And what I loved about Sienna when she was working at the gym as an athlete, how she was devoted. She had her heart completely, and her mind and her soul, when she was entering to the gymnastics facility and when she was exiting from the gymnastics facility. It was an honor to work with her, and thank you so much
Aw.
for having that trust in me, to make a difference, to make a positive difference in the child's mind and state of mind, so they're ready, because gymnastics has multitasking, and with the multitasking, so they're prepared for the future, because when they decide to go to college or university and or get a job, a dream job, and or create something on their own, I think multitasking is a must.
But I need to take it a step further in the sense that like the greatest lessons you taught her were definitely not on the mat. You know, as much as she gained physically from you, she gained such mental clarity and such mental strength from you constantly telling her that she is worth it and she is good
It's
enough.
amazing.
So I mean
And she's
it's true.
amazing.
It's true, but you reached the pinnacle of your sport, right? And then you're coaching someone who's never going to achieve that. But yet you made her feel, and you did that with all the gymnasts. I watched it time and time again. You made them always feel like that was their gold medal moment. And
Absolutely.
that literally changed the trajectory of her entire childhood into teen life, that she is good enough. And like I always tell you, I'm like forever grateful that you
Thank you.
impacted upon her like that.
Thank you so much. It's very kind words. Thank you. I have my belief on how I wanted to operate, and this is my belief. Through fun, encouragement,
Mm-hmm.
our kids can achieve anything because we need
Yep.
to provide that fun environment. And with the fun environment, yes, there is still discipline. Yes, there is still the work to do and work to complete, goals to achieve, and multitask and everything. So I will strongly continue my dream, and more to come.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you're natural. So
What lessons from sports and gymnastics do you think help children build their confidence and emotional resilience?
I think it teaches them actually the best life lessons being on a team sport. It teaches them how to work with others, how to be with others that they don't necessarily like. I mean, it happens in your work life, right? You don't like everyone you work with. You might not like your boss, but it teaches you how to cohesively work together to achieve a goal. It also teaches you how to accept defeat. And in life, we don't always get what we want. We don't get the job we want. We might not necessarily have all our friends work out the way we hoped. But it teaches you how to bounce back from those defeats. And that alone is important for the kids to
Yes.
live their entire life knowing that they are going to have to accept defeat. It's a stepping stone.
Beautiful. Well said. I'm moving now to the different question then. Shari, the Empowerment Zone Rare Gala focuses on empowerment, unity, and giving back. How do these values reflect on your life and work?
So I did mention that I started volunteering when I was very young in high school. It was really important for me to just kind of give a part of myself. I had a wonderful upbringing, and I wanted to share that blessing with other people. And doing that in my life's work, I feel like I've transferred that down to my children. Every year we do an annual tip challenge where we kind of gather a bunch of moms together and we donate money and we go to a random restaurant and surprise waitresses. And it literally has been life-changing for my children to watch the wonder in these women's eyes, like, oh my gosh, I did not expect this. I can't believe this. And they see it from my children, and then the way my children feel about it, they look forward to it every year. They
Mhm.
see me bringing soup to friends that are sick or family members that could use a pick-me-up. So I'm always trying to do things that integrate just gratefulness and gratitude into our everyday life, so it somehow resonates with my kids, that they carry that on, that they realize, wow, we live a really wonderful life, but we are going to give back to those that might not have those same things that we do.
So, do you think that that volunteering work that you have done when you were a teenager or a young woman, so do you think that that helped you to discover besides that, our parents are installing that kindness and telling us to share, and if we needed to give food to somebody and stuff like that, but do you think as a young adult, when you step into that, do you think that you discover yourself even more?
100%. I think it shapes who you become in life. And I think the younger you introduce your children to being grateful and being showing gratitude for what they have, the more they'll echo that into their adult life. But it needs to be shown by the parents. You know, they
Absolutely.
don't, they might necessarily not
You
might not necessarily know how to express that. But if
you
you
implementing a special
yeah, and
gift.
you model that to them that, hey, we are going to do this, it becomes a blessing instead of a chore to them. And it becomes something of who they are rather than what they should do, like they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
it's
yes.
important.
Yes, I do know. I was teaching Anthony from the very, very young age. I would say probably from 4.5, as long as I remember. And we would buy food and we would take that to the Forgotten Harvest, or we would buy like on the for this Thanksgiving, we would buy 10 huge bags, and we will put the entire dinner. All they have to do is just open the door, and we would not like, we would ring and we will run away and we would leave that package out there. So they can just, all they had to do, open the door, pick it up, and cook the dinner. So as Anthony is now reaching out his teenage years, now he's more involved with the Tatiana Gutsu Foundation, and packing the toys, packing the sporting goods and clothing, and packing the box, taking the boxes because they're huge and heavy, and we take them and we ship them from the post office. So it is good introduction to our kids to actually discover who they are, so they can open their heart even more to help others
100%.
who are in need. Yes.
And like I said, the way you introduced him at a young age, it only shows to him that this is a way of life. We have all we can have, and we have more. So why not give a little bit of ourselves? And he looks at it like, wow, this is something I want to do. This is not something I have to do. So
Yes.
I think that teaching that so early on just becomes part of who they are.
So he grew up from some of the toys. And last year, when we were packing 28 huge boxes, and I said, "Well, listen, like if you're not using your toys or you wanted to give it away, can you please look what you can give away so we can give your toys second life?" And I
Mhm.
was just, and he's like, "Okay, mom, sure, yes."
Of
So
course.
that
Yeah.
was like, just to say, like the way I said it, that his toys will, instead of throwing them away, but the toys will get second life and go to a different part of the world, and just that little bundle of joy on the other end of the world will receive that toy. And it's like you implementing the hope and love, and so that child knows that somebody on the other part of the world really do care and share and give them love and support. My
Yeah.
second my
One more thing about that's really interesting is that, so I've been making soup for friends and family all the time. Like if someone says they're sick, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make you soup. So now when I do make soup, my kids will say to me, Mom, is that soup for us, or who are you making soup for? Like, can you save some for us? So it's like they automatically know now that when I make soup, it's generally for somebody that needs it. And to me, that's like a sign that what I have been doing truly has an impact on them.
Sherry, I have Preston Pfeiffer. Preston Pfeiffer is Preston Pfeiffer came to the Empowerment Zone Red Annual Gala last year. And he's working with Linda Smart Brown. Linda Smart Brown, I have worked with her organization. I would say probably this is our fourth year.
Okay.
And her organization, she's the president and founder of Kids Read Uganda Foundation. And her son just texted Tatiana, you're so inspiring. Rooting for you and so excited to see you again at the Red event. Thank you so much, Preston. Absolutely. We are meeting on March 7th. If you did not get your tickets yet, please go to www.eventbrite.com, or you can go on to tatianagutsu.com or tatianagutsufoundation.com, and that will lead you to the tickets for you to purchase for you, for your friends, or for your family. This year we are doing as a family style, and we're welcoming kids because our teenage kids, they do need to get inspired. And we have absolutely great lineup of honored guest speakers that they will share their courageous and inspiring stories. We cannot wait to see you at our Empowerment Zone Red Annual Gala. Shari, next question. What advice would you give to the parents who are supporting children in with competitive sport while protecting their emotional well-being?
So I've learned over the last 17 years that the most crucial part of any support in your child is to find coaches and find teams that are going to support your child emotionally. Being a former therapist, nothing is more important to your child that's in a competitive sport than having someone that believes in them. Okay, being critical at times that are needed, fine. If children need coaching or they need redirecting or need assertive talks, fine. But finding the right coaches that will build your children up and not crush their spirit is at the foundation of their resilience. So if they are made to feel like they are good enough and they have potential and they are championed along the way, then that natural progression of their confidence and their resilience will just come to fruition as it is, just because of the support. And additionally, as a parent, once you do find those good coaches, is to listen to your child. Are they doing okay? Are they struggling? Are they having doubts about being in that sport? I mean, for example, Sienna wound up leaving gymnastics for a while. Of course, that crushed me, but that was her choice. So I think listening to your children and finding the correct coaches that will guide them in an appropriate and positive way is the foundation for everything in their life.
Thank you so much for sharing this empowering message. And the last question, Shari, as we wrap up, what one piece of advice or message would you like to leave to our audience with about empowerment, resilience, and making a positive impact in their lives?
So I think with the way the world is today, and we're constantly inundated with all types of social media influencers and different movie stars and people coming online showing that their house is always perfect and their children are perfect and everything in their life is perfect. It kind of leads me to that thought that comparison is the thief of joy. And so if you're constantly comparing yourself, oh, my house isn't as clean and my children are as smart, or they haven't accomplished as much in the sports world, then you're going to rob yourself of such joy. So comparing yourself to your own family. And my husband always says, worry about what's going on in your four walls. Once your four walls are okay, then you can start looking outward. But looking inward to yourself and what's going on in your family is most important, rather than what everyone else in the world is doing or showing, or this facade that everything's great. It's not. So just focusing on what's going on in those four walls is key.
That's absolutely stunning message. Yes. Shari, thank you so much for being with us today. It's a true honor to have you here, and I cannot wait for the March 7th and you be on the stage as a special guest with your
Oh,
daughters. And I cannot wait for everyone in the state of Michigan, or if you're just visiting, buy a ticket and come support the Empowerment Zone and our Empowerment Zone movement. So everyone is welcome, everyone is united, and that's how we will grow. That's how we will become stronger and more united. Thank you so much, everybody. And remember, it's simple. The power is in you.
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, Shari. Take care.
Talk soon.
Bye
All
bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye bye.